Hello and welcome to another video. I'm Ruhani here to give you, as always, some very valuable practical information. Today's video is about Arabic magic. What is Arabic magic? The reason that I have decided to make this video is that most people think of Arabic magic as just another path or tradition. Because when we speak of voodoo or Kabbalah or any other sort of tradition or magical path, we're thinking about a specific way of doing things. Whereas in Arabic magic, it's a little bit different. Arabic magic, to put it simply, is magic done in Arabic. Now, if we go deeper into that, we will find that there is a whole plethora of techniques and sciences that fall under the umbrella of Arabic magic. If you stick around till the end, I will actually let you know how these sciences come together by describing an operation of mine. So in the Arabic context, we would call it Ilmu-ruhaniyat, which is the science of ruhaniyat. And that ties into any kind of occult science. So when we go into Arabic magic, Ilmu-ruhaniyat, as we call it in Arabic, we find many different sciences. We find a shabshabat. Shabshabat don't discriminate. There's no like, oh, I'm only working with light beings or like, celestial beings or so on and so forth. Like, shabshabat is all about getting the job done, and it's usually with the satanic entities, to be honest. But it's very simple kind of magic. You just write this talisman, right? This kind of like magical symbols and do something with them, a few ingredients, and telling you people, it is some of the most difficult magic to get rid of and to undo. Okay, so simple is not always bad, right? Because many people like to make things complex, and it makes them think that they're doing something better than others, that they know something that others don't. But as one of my clients aptly said the other day, simple magic is the best magic. There's also stuff like Ilmu-ruhaniyat. People who are familiar with the work of Apollonius of Tyana, using kind of representations or statues, relying on the inherent properties of certain materials and putting them together to produce a specific effect. And then we get into other disciplines that start with the word ilm. Ilm, as I've mentioned before, is either science or knowledge, but in this case it's science. You have ilm al-khudam, you have ilm al-tanjim, you have ilm al-azaim, you have ilm al-huruf, ilm al-awfaq, ilm al-raml, ilm this, ilm that. I mean, anytime you hear ilmu or ilm, it means that this is a science of its own. Just like the sciences of the material world, the occult sciences tie together in many ways. One of the ones that is prominent and kind of branches into other sciences is Ilmu al-Huruf. Ilmu al-Huruf is omnipresent in Arabic magic because it is the primordial science, right? It's like God created the universe by speaking. The letters hold great importance in the realm of the occult sciences. Someone that we want to do a spell for, we would need to find their element. Well, that is done through the letters. If we're trying to make magic squares using Ilm al-Awfaq, then we would transform the letters into numbers, right? So all these things that tie in together, it creates a cohesive body of knowledge. And the reason that I'm making this video is that I don't want you to fall into a trap of people who are telling you that they're experts in Arabic magic. To be honest, I don't think there's an expert in Arabic magic. It doesn't exist. And from my research and my studies, I think that would be something that would take 20, if not more, lifetimes. So there's no one, in my opinion, who can claim to be a master of all these sciences. What I have observed in people who are at a very good level, they pick one and they specialize in one. It is also important to note that Arabic magic is practiced whatever Islam has been. So people in Indonesia are practicing Arabic magic, but you also have people in Morocco, people in the Middle East, then India. And personally, I have seen a difference between what is done in Middle East, the West the Arab West, I would say, North Africa, and also what is done in the Asian subcontinent. I would say that these are three currents that are distinct to one another. So to give you an example, something as basic as the Abjad order. There is what we call the Mashriqi and the Maghribi, right? The Mashriqi, which is the eastern one, and the Maghribi, which is the western one, and that is specific not to northern Africa but more to Morocco. Ilm al-Khudam, what is it? I mean, the science of Khudam, the science of servants. This relies on the principle that for every single aspect of reality, there is a Khadim. Okay, Khudam is the plural, Khadim is the singular. So from the stars to the zodiac signs to the planets, letters, also elements, even the jinns and the angels, they have khuddam and a'wan, right? They have servants and attendants. So that's ilm al-khudam for you. Ilm al-tanjim, that's the science of astrology and how it affects everything and anything that we do. And you have examples of that in the Picatrix, which is not considered, something of really prominence in today's world, but I know that there's a very well and alive tradition, people practicing from that book, and they're getting great results. So good for them. And that goes back to my previous point, which is you can just pick one. You can just pick one, and whatever resonates with you, and then just go all in. And that is what this video is really about, is to help you, cut out the noise. Because nowadays we have access to so much information that it's easy to say, oh, Arabic magic, and there's this and there's that and there's this and there's that. Like, no. What do you want to do? You want to learn how to make magic squares? Then dismiss everything else and just get good at magic squares. You want to learn how to conjure angels? Then just forget about everything else and focus on that. And that will get you further than years going around getting all the information that you need for something that you won't even need in the future. You see? And that is something that has helped me a lot, considerably. Instead of just reading all the books and reading all the manuscripts, it has helped me to advance at a quicker pace and raise my game faster than if I spent my time just reading any and every book about any subject. Think of it this way. These are all sports, okay? So you like a sport, either be it basketball or tennis. But if you're changing sports every few months, you're never going to get good or proficient at any of them. So pick your sport and get good at it. So as I promised, I will tell you how I combine these sciences to produce a certain effect. This is just an example to illustrate how someone who is a professional would use these at variable steps of doing a ritual to combine them to create something which is wholesome. So first step is I would have the person's name. Then I need to determine what kind of element is their most dominant or strongest element. Then I would use the science of letters to determine that. Yes, by the way, in Arabic magic, we don't use astrology to determine a person's element. We actually use the letters. So based on that, I would then know what kind of magic square is going to suit them best. That's the first step, and then I would write the divine petition and the mandate to the spirits according to their wishes. And after that, I would need to know what time would be best within that week or that month to make that contract, to actually sit down and write it. Okay, so that would rely on Ilmu-ruhaniyat, which is the science of astrology, because we have to have an appropriate time to do it. Then once I determine the time, I have to prepare the ritual. There are different preparations, but that's not a ilm. That's basically just normal procedure for any kind of ritual. And on the day, I would sit down, write the contract, and as I told you before, there's a magic square that has to be used. So then we go into Ilmu-al-Awfaq, which is the science of magic squares, and then I would go straight into the ritual, which is summoning and then contracting the spirits to fulfill the contract. And that goes into Ilmu-Ta'zim, which is the science of conjuration. So you see, just to create a single contract, we have 4 sciences: science of Tanjim, science of the letters, Ilm al-Huruf, Ilm al-Awfaq, which is the science of magic squares, and Ilm al-Ta'zim, which is the science of conjurations. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something new. I hope that it has clarified things for you in aspects to Arabic magic when people are talking about it. If you have still some questions, something that you would like me to develop more on, let me know in the comment section. It would be my pleasure to do that. You can always check out the links in the description if you're interested to learn more. It's been my pleasure making this video for you. Thank you so much for your attention and for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.